Ahoy hoy YouTube modeling community, it's Lazy Eyed Modeler here in the Woody Workshop. I just wanted to take an opportunity to say hello. I want to thank everybody that's watched the video from the Group 25 model car contest on September 24th. But I wanted to make a little video to say why I sort of started off gangbusters at the beginning of the year and then disappeared yet again. Starting in February and March, there was an issue going on that I would say affected my mental health. It's kind of was a political thing, so I'm not going to elaborate anymore on that much more. But that kind of took me out of February and March, sort of. I had a bit of a, I guess, depression because of it. March started coming around again, and April, May, spring hit, and we're getting good work done around the house, you know, yard work and little projects we wanted done. And unfortunately, unknown to me, I was becoming ill, and it wasn't until I think after Easter that I started noticing it more and more. Issues with my stomach and you know, just I lost my appetite, and anybody that knows me that watches this video knows what my appetite is like, so that's an indication something's going on, because I just half the time my wife didn't know what to do for meals or whatever, because I didn't feel like this and I didn't feel like that, and I just kept feeling strange. I have a knack of things coming up and then disappearing, so I kind of ignored it for a while. Because I figured, oh yeah, I'll make a doctor's appointment, and now by the time I get there it'll just be, I'll look like a hypochondriac again. So I waited a while, and it was May before I got in touch with my doctor. And so I had an appointment with him, and I discussed everything, and so he sent me for some ultrasound. He sent me once, and I don't think they believed what they saw, so I went for a second one. And the technician who did it the second time told me, you realize you're holding 2 liters of bladder in your, or 2 liters of fluid in your bladder. And I said, I had no idea. I went and used, you know, they scan you, and then they say go empty. They make you drink a bunch of water before you show up to the ultrasound, and then they scan you, and then they make you go to the washroom to empty as much as you can. Well, it was after that, after I'd emptied as much as I can, that they saw I was retaining 2 liters of fluid. So by this time it was mid to late June when the second ultrasound was done. As you guys may or may not know, July 1st is called Canada Day, so it ends up being like your July 4th, you know, all kinds of festivals and fireworks and all that. So July 1st we walked down to the museum here in town, and on the way back up I collapsed, and so 911 was called, and I ended up going to the hospital in the ambulance, and they couldn't, of course you assume it's a heart related issue, but they found they couldn't find any heart-related thing. But while I was in there, they decided to put a catheter in me, because they knew about the 2 liters of fluid, and they drained and they drained and they drained my bladder. But because of the catheter going in, I bled for 4 days, so I ended up in hospital for 9 days, and then I've been living with a catheter since then, which I've been able to do some things. I made one trip in August down to Daily Hobbies in Whitby, which is a 2-hour drive, and that major undertaking, but it went well. And then I started seeing a urologist, but unfortunately where I live there's no urologist in town or at the hospital. So they have one that comes up from one of the nearby cities 2 days a week, or a couple of them that trade off. Anyway, so it took a month to get that appointment. It took a month to get a scope where they send things where you don't want them to see if the prostate is as bad as it is. And it turned out it was. So I thought, well, it'll be a while before I, you know, get an operation. And so I had planned on going to the Group 25 show, and I had planned on going to the Ottawa show and then a car tour after that. Well, it turns out they surprised me, and I had ended up with an appointment for September 26th to get my operation. And so I was lucky enough to get to the Group 25 show, but that took out the Ottawa show or anything else like that. And then the operation was fine, but it's kind of been of a, pardon the expression, a shit show since then. And despite the fact I was supposed to be able to, you know, go to the bathroom on my own, it didn't work out that way, and I have a catheter back in me. So it's kind of been a rough few months, you know. I mean, it could be much worse. One thing I keep telling people is at 63, I'm so damn lucky that this is the first big thing I've ever had to deal with in my life, health-wise, you know. So I'm lucky that way, and I'm lucky that it's just an enlarged prostate. There's no cancer or anything involved. So, you know, we know enough people in the community here in YouTube that are dealing with cancer and all that. So I'm quite lucky. But, you know, when you've gone through a lot of adversity, you know how to deal with adversity. And when you've been lucky like me, I'm not as good as dealing with adversity. So that's kind of put me off. You know, I spent many months not even barely coming out here, or if I did come out here to the shop, I would just come out for the Zoom meetings that TAPS would have. They have Zoom meetings every Wednesday and Saturday because not every venue where we used to meet has opened up yet. So anyway, that's where I've been. I'm sorry for no content on this channel. I see I've lost a number of subscribers, and boy, I don't blame anybody. But I'm going to try to, you know, get back to things. I'm doing a stash update, and I'm doing a group build, which will be a separate video, and probably we'll do a third video on another group build that's not connected with Facebook or YouTube or anything. It's involved with our group called TAPS. So I'll be doing a video on that, and you'll hear me mention it during the stash ad as well. So I sincerely apologize to all of you for disappearing for 8 months or however long it's been. We're going to try to get content here again on the channel, and I hope you bear with me in the meantime. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in and checking out the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.